Hey everyone, Anthony Scott here at ToyHypeUSA.com. Today I have a special review for you of Mattel's upcoming Masters of the Universe Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles crossover figure. This is their Turtles of Grayskull Krang figure, which will be first available at Walmart CollectorCon this coming March 14th and 15th, starting at 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Thank you to Mattel for this great surprise and for sending Krang along for a review. It's greatly appreciated. Some early figures got released at their Mattel store in California, so a select few of fans would already have him in hand. He is a great figure, and he comes packaged in this beautifully done window box, which has the Turtles of Grayskull logo right there on top. Some beautifully done artwork showcasing mutagen and a SOAR environment as the Turtles use the SOARs in New York City. On the side, you have images of the character, which has beautifully done artwork. Here's a closer look at that. And you have the same thing on the other side. Let's bring this in a little bit closer. You guys can see that too. On the back, I also want to point out that this is an unpunched card, so you know it hasn't been hanging on shelves. Look at that right there. Some additional artwork, which is just phenomenal. You have Krang fighting Raphael, beautifully done with Snake Mountain there in the background. And below that, you have a description of Krang. Let's bring this in closer so you guys can read that. And instructions showcasing what he can do, interchangeable parts. Put in Krang's head right in the belly. So I'm going to take him out of packaging now. And let's take a closer look. Both sides of the packaging have this illustration instruction of how to swap out the torso of Krang. Here's a look at Krang inside the plastic tray along with his axe and mace accessory, as well as Krang and the interchangeable torso. Here's your in-hand look at Krang, paying a homage to the Masters of the Universe Megator character. I've been looking forward to working on this review all weekend. I've posted several hints on Instagram, and just to give you guys a heads up of what's coming. So hopefully you guess this figure. He has a muscular physique and dark green skin tone, which pays homage to the Masters of the Universe Megator character, as I just specified. And they've really offered something special here, as he comes with interchangeable parts that we're going to be taking a look at. But first, let's take a look at just this version of the character. The head sculpt is obviously paying a homage to Krang's android body. However, they did update it to make him look a little bit more monstrous, like Masters of the Universe. It's not a Megator head or a Krang head. This is really a mix of both. The hair is obviously wrong, as Megator has long black hair that goes around the sides. This is just a piece of hair sticking up, so this is all new for the character. The mask is something that they created. The eye visor, however, is paying a homage to Krang's android baby body, as he has a similar visor over his eyes. The teeth is obviously all new for this character, as well as the yellow horns on the sides of his head here. The skull on the chest does pay a homage to Megator, as he has basically the skull on the armor on his chest for all of his figure releases, as well, that you guys remember from art and mini comic and whatever else. So he does keep that. However, the rest of this is all new, especially the armor around it. These copper chains is all new for this release. Krang's android baby body does have these dark gray, it almost looks like chains, but this isn't that. This is something else. You see chains right across the loincloth as well, which is paying homage to Megator as well. He has the black belt, these little spikes, which a lot of detail here. Let's take a look at the back, and that follows through the back as well. It's like a little paint mishap back here, unfortunately. Here's a look at the back of the chains and everything. So the head sculpt, very nicely done. Here's a closer look at that. The hair is something unique for this figure, and you can also swivel that, which I found to be an awesome little surprise. I've been playing with them all weekend, so I've had plenty of time to check out these little features here. So there's your closer look there. The gloves and the feet are given a neon red. It almost looks pink. I had to really decide if it was pink or neon red. I think neon red is what they were going for. On Krang's android body, he wears a dark red trunks, which everyone has a different name for it, his diaper, whatever else you want to call it. However, I believe that neon red is what they were going for, so he has that. Here is a closer look there. And it also matches the mask, so it's the same neon red for the mask as well. The figure includes all of the accessories here, including a mace attachment, which you can replace the hand and put it right into the wrist. And the mace was also used by not only Krang, but Megator as well. So this is a great accessory that pays a tribute to both characters. He comes with a axe, double-bladed axe, a chest piece to put the brain of Krang inside, just as you remember from the baby body. So he comes with two different iconic looks, plus the interchangeable accessories. He comes with a sheet of instructions specifying which parts are removable, so you'll be able to swap out with other Masters of the Universe Origins figures, WWE Superstars, Masters of the WWE Universe, and Turtles of Grayskull. A lot of these figures are basically using some of the same parts, new tooling. However, it's all compatible with each other, which I think is just awesome. And he comes with this card with some beautifully done artwork here, showcasing the character in an action pose. Really loving that artwork. And on the back, you have a description. Let's bring this in closer so you guys can see that. The card itself, again, this shows you what parts are removable, so you can swap out the parts. The feet, the torso, the Krang midsection, the arms, the hands, as well as the head. Krang is fully articulated, and the articulation is standard for this particular style. You have a ball-jointed head and neck, really good range of motion here. Ball hinge shoulders, excellent range of motion. Swivel hinge elbows, swivel hinge wrists, swivel waist, ball jointed hips, swivel hinge knees, swivel calves. And as the ankles go, these are hinged with limited range of motion, and rocker ankles, also with a limited range of motion. So you don't have much as far as ankle articulation. They just move a little bit. Here's a look at Krang holding his mace. It plugs in right into the wrist. And the mace itself is on this real chain link. And you can raise it up so it can be moved around as shown. The mace is dark gray with a metallic wash on it, and it looks really good. Here is a closer look at it. You can also switch it up and put it on the other wrist, for example, but I'm going to leave it on this wrist. As you can see here, this is plugged in. You can also turn it to your liking. The axe works the same way as the chain and mace accessory, and I went ahead and put it on the other wrist just to give you guys a look at it. This can swivel, so you can rotate it, and here is a look at it from the back. The axe itself, nicely sculpted, and it's a double-bladed axe. You see a little bit of battle damage on the blades there. Here I went ahead and put the torso piece on that will house Krang's brain. And this is what it looks like when you split apart the upper and lower part of the body. A lot of the same deco is applied. This metallic copper, very nicely done. And he has orange circles on both sides. And this metallic green right in the front. Here is, look at all that great sculpting on the back. Here, you can just open up the front here and put the brain right in front. You won't have to push them in too far. Let me demonstrate for you guys right on camera. He's just gonna slide right in. And then we're just gonna carefully close this. So here is your look at Krang. Obviously the tentacles you want to line up with this two pieces here. I have not done this yet, so okay. So this is how it's gonna look when it's fully assembled. Here's another look at Krang's brain inside the torso. The torso piece gives him a little bit more than an inch in height, and in this form he is about 8.5 inches. Here's a look at Krang with both of the accessories on his wrists in this form. He looks menacing. Definitely a great homage to Masters of the Universe. I'm loving the Megator crossover. The mace with the chain and the axe are perfect accessories for this character. He is just one looking badass you do not want to mess with. Look at this, a great attention to detail here. Again, you can raise up the mace. It's a real chain link. So, well, made of plastic, not a real chain link, but it functions like a chain link. So here's your look at it. Obviously, you can move it around to your delight. So let the comparisons begin. On the left here is Andre the Giant and Titus crossover that Mattel offered a few years ago. This was in Masters of the WWE Universe, which saw Masters of the Universe and WWE co-brand figures. They did a full line of these, and these were just phenomenal. Turtles is their newest thing, and Krang is crossed over with Megator. Titus and Megator were offered by Mattel overseas back in the 80s, so now you have these characters as crossover in origin style. We got releases of modern update of Titus and Megator in Masters of the Universe Classics, which was just a modern era of the brand and my personal favorite line. However, Origins is my second favorite. Here's a comparison of the Masters of the Universe Classics Megator figure that Mattel put out years ago with his ball and chain there, and this new release of Krang, which is part of the Turtles of Grayskull line, which also has homage to Megator as well. He has the green skin and the muscular physique that you will remember from Megator, which is on the left here. These are great figures, and he pays a great homage to both Krang and Megator, as I've said earlier on in the video. I'm really loving what I'm seeing here. In the classic Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoon, Krang can increase his size, so he can go as big as the Empire State Building. I really want to see Mattel do a much larger version of the character, given that power that you really don't see in this toy here, or any toy. They've never really made a gigantic Krang figure before, so that's something I really want to see. I doubt it's going to happen, but I do think that would be very cool. Here's a comparison of everything I have in hand for the Turtles of Grayskull line. I hinted at Trapjaw over the weekend with a Instagram post, and here's a look at Wave 1. Krang is right there on the ground in the center. Overall, Krang is a beautiful figure I think fans are going to love. There is so much to love about the Turtles of Grayskull line, and Mattel is doing a phenomenal job with these. I'm loving how they can cross over with other lines, parts and accessories, things like that. This is just phenomenal. Thank you again to Mattel for sending along for a review. It's greatly appreciated. To buy, this is at Walmart CollectorCon on March 14th and 15th, starting at 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So use the link below in the YouTube description or the hyperlinks off of toyhypeusa.com. We would greatly appreciate that. We get a little crumb of monetary gain, so for any referred sales from that. So greatly appreciated if you would do that. I am Anthony Scott at Toy Hype USA. Thanks again for watching this video, and stay tuned for more coverage and reviews.